Today on the show, I have some photography related news that I came across, and I say news in air quotes, that I want to discuss with you, the hands-on photography listener and viewer. I think it's going to be quite interesting. Y'all stay tuned. Hey, it's time for the annual TWiT audience survey. The annual survey helps us understand our audience so we can make your listening experience even better. It'll only take a few minutes. Just head on over to twit.tv/survey22 and take it today. Thanks.
This is TWiT.
No ads, just the content. That's what you get when you join Club TWiT. You even get extras like TWiT Plus, our new bonus feed just for members, and exclusive access to the Club TWiT Discord community. Join now for just $7 a month and support TWiT as we continue to create top-notch podcasts you expect and deserve. We're just getting started, so be one of the first to join as we build Club TWiT from the ground up. You could be an early member. Go to twit.tv/clubtwit to learn more and sign up now. Thanks.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? I am Pruitt. This is Hands-On Photography here on TWiT TV. Hope y'all are doing well. I am unbelievable as always. I love sitting down with you folks each and every week to talk different tips and tricks that are going to help make you a better photographer as well as a better post processor. But not this week. I'm not getting into any of that stuff. I'm actually going to touch on just a bit of photography related news that I came across. I don't know if it's news, but it's just something that crossed my mind. I felt I probably should share this with you folks, the loyal hands-on photography listener, and get your feedback because I'm curious to hear what you think. But before we get into that, allow me to say welcome to the folks that are brand new to catching the show. Thank you for hopping in. Appreciate all your support. Go ahead and subscribe right now on whatever podcast application you're enjoying this on. We are available on all of those different platforms, folks. Quite frankly, yeah, all of them. You got Apple Podcasts. You got Google Podcasts. You got our YouTube channel. You got Spotify. Even though a lot of folks are starting to shy away from Spotify for whatever reason, we're still there if you're still wanting to use that app. But yeah, check us out on all of those different platforms or just head on over to our website, twit.tv/hop. That's twit.tv/HOP for hands-on photography. And you'll see all of our subscription options right there, as well as our previous shows and previous show notes for good reference for you. So go ahead and check it all out. All right. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started with this week's episode. So I like to sit down with my iPad and just sort of, consume content. I'm hardly ever creative or productive when I have my tablet out, but I just, sit down and relax and either watch Netflix or someone's Plex server or what have you, or I'll just browse through different news articles and things like that just to try to get my knowledge on. And I came across this story from the folks at Petapixel, and it made me think a little bit. And it's basically talking about an Instagram competitor, if you will, or an Instagram alternative. But before we get into that, I was like, I remember this time, I think it was like in the summer of 2021, and there was this service called Glass that was introduced. Glass.app, I believe, or it's glassphoto.app. Can't remember the exact name, but I spoke about it here on the network. And when I looked at it, it was a pretty nice looking app. It did everything that a photo app should do. It was very pretty. It was available on iOS only, but they said, this is the best place to start. And I get that. Yeah, that's your prerogative. But when I played around with it, I'm thinking, yeah, you know what? On this iPhone that I've been using from Mr. Laporte's, this stuff looks pretty daggum good. I just don't know if it's for me, but I said I'll give it a shot. I had my concerns about it because it was subscription based, and quite frankly, folks, a lot of people, they just don't want to pay for apps and services. At least that's my experience. People are cheap and they want everything for free. And the subscription service, I want to say it was like $5 a month or something like that, or $7 a month. Or you can pay for an annual fee for really, really cheap. But yeah, I said I'd give it a try, and I tried it out. And unfortunately, it just wasn't my thing. I just wasn't digging it. It was pretty. They could have worked on some things and could have given me more of a social experience, if you will, at the time of me leaving it. That was in the fall when I decided to leave it. And it just didn't connect with me. I'm sorry. And I heard from a lot of you folks that said, hey, this thing is beautiful. They're doing this and they're doing that. And it's just getting so much better and yada, yada, yada. And that's great. It did get better. But I'm gone. I wanted no other part with it. So I decided to look into it a little bit more. And I see that they have some additional highlights here. Like as of today, as the time of recording this, they added a new highlight of putting it on the iPad now, because I remember trying to look at this app on the iPad and it was not optimized for it at the time. Beautiful app that wasn't optimized. They finally got that squared away. They added some more categories and other community related things in there, and it looks better. But again, I'm already gone. I don't know if I'll go back to it. Maybe. We'll see. But I had to give credit where credit was due on this. Very, very neat stuff. But okay, so now we have Petapixel discussing what came from the folks at Pigeon, or it used to be called Lindsay, but now they're called Pigeon. And this is a photo sharing service that is aiming to be an alternative to Instagram without all of the bells and whistles of having to deal with and worry about hashtags and deal with and worry about likes and all of that good stuff. You know, the social media algorithmic madness, if you will. And you don't have to worry about ads or anything like that. And I'm thinking, really? How so? When I pulled it up on the website, checked it out, they were literally bragging, hey, this is the social photography app for people that are all about photography. You know, get rid of all of the likes, get rid of all of that madness and stuff. And they said there's no financial incentive. So interesting. So right now, Pigeon is going to run on a freemium model. But their leadership says it never wants to add a ad platform to it. They want to try to base what they're going to do on the same revenue model that Discord is doing right now. And hey, you got to give them credit for that. That's pretty admirable. But folks, you're loyal TWiT TV listeners. Y'all know ain't none of this stuff is for free. There's always going to be a price with it, whether it's dollars out of your pocket from a subscription, or whether it's going to be some private data of yours that's getting sold to somewhere else. I'll believe it when I see it. So I decided to take a look at this app. I installed it just to see how real this thing was. And I found it quite fascinating that, number one, the permissions on it are really, really limited, like next to nothing. Good call. That's a good start. And then I looked at the terms and service. So let me read the terms of service to you. So just trust me, you're not going to get bored of this. I promise you. So let me flip to the terms of service and read this to you. So it starts. Terms and conditions. First, no hate speech, including but not limited to racism, homophobia, etc. You may not create any posts depicting extreme violence or gore. No nudity is permitted. You may not use this platform to facilitate illegal activity. You may not attempt to modify this app source code in any way. You may not use the platform to spread fake or intentionally misleading news about any topic. You may not harass or pose danger to other users. Violating any of these rules may result in a permanent ban at our sole discretion. We always reserve the right to deny service to a user for any reason. And that's the end of it. That's it. That is their whole terms and conditions. Folks, I've never seen the terms and conditions that short ever for an application. And I found that quite refreshing that, number one, it was shortened to the point. And number two, they put it in a language that any and everybody can understand. It's not a bunch of legalese, jargon and stuff like that. So they won me over on that aspect of it. So I decided to play around with the app after reading through that. And it's a bit all over the place right now. I can tell that they're just getting started on this. When you look it up on Google Play, it's not a gazillion downloads of it. It's just maybe a couple hundred, I believe. But as I'm scrolling through it, it's got some nice photographs in there, but the categories just seem to be I don't know. The scrolling just seems to be a little bit all over the place because you have tags on each image to let you know which category it's in. Sometimes it'll say all, sometimes it'll say like food or portraits and things like that. I think if you want to just have it scroll through, just have it, just do one category at a time. But that's just me. I'm not a user experience professional, but that was just me. But the photos looked okay. And then I noticed that there's still some people that are using hashtags and things like that. You know, again, people are coming in there thinking, all right, I need to maximize my visibility on this app because I want to go viral and things like that. And I think that is the problem with these services today. It's not necessarily Pidgeon's fault. It's basically just how we have been conditioned because of the previous apps like Instagram that's telling us, you know, in order to grow, you need to do stuff like this. You need to post every day. You need to do hashtags and yada, 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 all that algorithmic stuff. I wonder if we'll see less and less of this stuff with people popping in and throwing hashtags in by habit, or if people will even grow on this platform. Who knows? But I went back to the website and Google Play and just read through it, and I found it quite hilarious, some of the content on here. Let me switch my screen here. Let's see. Found it quite hilarious. Okay. The content you see is determined by people, not a magic algorithm. Discover photography across an unlimited number of categories or create your own category with just a few taps. See chronological content by people you follow in one place. No ad means less clutter in the feed, and content you see is truly organic rather than paid for. So again, they're really, really pushing that narrative. And then when I scroll down and there's one comment at the time of recording, and it gets 3 out of 5 stars, doesn't do much, and what it doesn't do well. The photos are structured in categories, nature and street, and each can have only one category. You can subscribe to categories and browse them individually. This app is very opaque. What are the pics ordered by? It crops all of the image explicitly to leave over half of the screen for comments. Right. It was weird from the user experience standpoint. But anyway, it continues. The UX is a bit awkward too. To go to the author's page, you need to click on the photo and then click on the user, even when the user's name is right there. Yes, I noticed that too. Again, I'm not a user experience professional, but some things, it just makes sense. And I think they missed the mark there. And maybe in a future update, they will address some of these concerns that are being put out there by reviewers like this person, Ducky Travels. Who knows? But honestly, folks, I just don't see the need for something like this anymore. Especially when there's so much competition in Instagram, where people tend to just grow really, really quickly because of that algorithm. I'm not saying I agree with how Instagram does things from an algorithmic standpoint, but there are people that are doing quite well on Instagram because of the algorithm. It is what it is. You know, but then I also take a look at other platforms like Flickr. I'm a Flickr Pro member. I love that. I throw my photos up there quite regularly. I love that I have a backup service there quite easily. And the community aspect of it works quite well for me. My friend Steve Brazel uses it for his show Behind the Shot, and it works great. So many different people view his show because of the community aspect right there inside of Flickr, and he carries it on over into his show with Behind the Shot. So I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Glass seems to be doing okay. You know, they got people like Om Malik backing it up. Well, maybe I shouldn't say backing it up, but they got him front and center on the website because he's a great photographer and he seems to enjoy using the app. Who knows? Time will tell. Time will tell. What are your thoughts? I put this up in our TWiT forums at twit.community, and it's been crickets. It's been crickets. No one has thought about it. No one said anything. I put it in our Club TWiT Discord. Crickets there too. Not one person has said a thing about this app, Pigeon, other than it's a same name of a messenger app from back in the days. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Shoot me an email at hop@twit.tv to share your thoughts on this app, or just tag me over on Twitter and Instagram. I am @_Pruitt on Twitter. I am @_Pruitt on Instagram. Let me know your thoughts. It's I don't know. Again, time's going to tell for me. And I'm going to give it 3 months, 3 months tops, maybe. Heck, I'll probably forget about it by next month. Who knows? All right. Anyway, that's it. We're gonna head on out of here for this week. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in the next episode as we get ready to demo and show off some photos that you all sent me for our photography challenge. It was the sunrise photography challenge. I've gotten a lot in. I've been working my way through them, trying to figure out how I'd like to present it back to you, the listeners. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Thank y'all so much for sending those in. Again, if you got any questions, send me an email to hop@twit.tv. Again, it's hop@twit.tv. And be sure to follow me over on the social media platforms. Again, Twitter and Instagram. I am @_Pruitt on both of those platforms. And also, folks, do me one more thing. Head on over to your podcast app that allows you to do ratings and comments. Leave me a rating and comment so it'll help push us up in the search engine magic stuff, whatever that stuff's called, algorithmic stuff, to help more people discover the show. It helps me out, and I really do appreciate that. All right, folks, until next week, you all safely create and dominate, and we'll catch you next time. Y'all take care.
If you are looking for a midweek update on the week's tech news, I got to tell you, you got to check out Tech News Weekly. See, it's all kind of built in there with the title. You get to learn about the news in tech that matters. Every Thursday, Jason Howell and I talk to the people making and breaking the tech news, get their insights and their interesting stories. It's a great show to check out, twit.tv/TNW.